internet will never forget, a saying that stays true and undefeated. Gone are the days when deeds are done and they remain in the dark. The same cannot be said of the new age. Civilization thrives on development. Development thrives on innovation. Innovation thrives on ideas, and ideas thrive on human needs. The human ability to function is largely now dependent on technology, and with technology comes the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like every other thing in life, there will always be positive and negative. When the bad outweighs the good, then there's a need for a check. Tales by moonlight, books, and spiritual gatherings are some of the avenues children ages ago were made to learn behavioral morals. What is right, what is proper and appropriate have premiums placed on them, but nowadays, the same cannot be said as kids now have access to smartphones which expose them to unlimited and unrestricted access to information. Who is without sin should cast the first stone, the Holy Book says. Recent events have shown high moral grounds, but these things aren't new and no generation is better than the other. The difference is, back then, X sleeping with Y was just a schoolyard tale as there was no video to prove the immoral act took place. So it stayed where it belonged, in the dark. The same cannot be said now, as with the click of a function on the smartphone, it is lights, camera, and action. With the way the world is going, kids below 10 now have access to smartphones, and with it comes all its glory of endless exposure to good and bad information. Even with parental advisory, young parents are nonchalant and carefree. Access to restricted age content is not protected. Kids are made to get away with action that years ago were punishable, but the woke generation has different views and ideas. We can no longer tell the difference between discipline and child abuse, as correcting a child is now confused for abuse. The big question is, with the very visible harm and danger that exists in our cyberspace, at what age is it appropriate to entrust a smartphone into the hands of our kids? 10, 16, 18, or parenting is what we should examine as a society.
Respect, going from when we were younger at our time, you're allowed to have a smartphone, if I use the word smartphone, when you're in high institution, obviously. Not when you're still secondary school or primary education, which is not advisable, because we know what you're exposed to using a smartphone. A lot of vices, a lot of things pop up when using smartphones, when you're browsing. You have a lot of things pop up which are not advised for kids to be exposed to. You understand? So I think for bearing in mind what happened recently, I would say if you want to give a kid a smartphone, you should. Why not wait when the person gets to your institution and give him a phone and laptop, whatever he can use? And
to give a kid a smartphone should be age 16. By me, age 16 is okay. You know, we are in a technological advanced world, and young kids tends to have access to all the smartphone and internet. So I think the best age is 16. I would have said 18, but 16 is still better, so that you can be able to, handle them very well. Age 16 is okay. They will be able to handle it very well. By the time they are 18, they'll be able to handle some things. So that's my own opinion.
Yeah. I would say smartphone is good for some age to use in some aspects. Let me say in a educational level, they will learn so many things there, they will gain many things. But in terms of another aspect like social media, it's not advisable because it corrupts them a lot. In terms of corruption of, let me say, sex habits, as into they will know much, even more than what their parents knew, because what they are learning this time around now is more than what is happening before. And also through the social media also, they are learning some ritual aspects from there, which is not advisable. To me, I've said it that it's good in an educational level if they can monitor them. But if it's not something that they can monitor them, if it's like to give them for personal use, not really advised. I would say 18 and above, they are free to use smartphone. But less than that age, they still need to monitor them better because of so many things going on the social media. It's not advisable for them to let them be. Because some children, they will be hindered, do many things, practice so many things. They do corrupt themselves in many habits that is not what to.
I feel at age 18 upward, a kid should have access to phone. Even at that age, There should be some parental guide on because of internet or so or thereabouts. There should be a parental guide on the phone also, so there could be limits to the things the kids could have access to. For me, that's my own.
At least from the age of 15. No, we are in a digital world. You should allow that child extend small. Don't give it out at the age of 10. At the age of 15, and even at that age of 15, there should be some limitations. There should be some things you shouldn't allow that child to use the phone. You set the phone for that child and monitor the child, be it girl or boy. I don't believe in monitoring only baby girl child. You have to monitor the two of them, because there are a lot of ills in the society. Even when they are not prepared for it, their peers may push them into it. So you have to open your eyes wide to see to the good upbringing of these children, because our own parents brought us all well. If we were not well brought up, we will not be where we are. We will not be in marriages today. But today, marriages are being scaring people. Most young ladies, my daughter was asking me the other day, "Mommy, marriage is scaring me." I said, "No, don't allow marriage to scare you. It's a natural thing that God has made." I don't know why we should. I don't know how we find ourselves in this kind of the society where we are today. What is the problem? What have we seen that others have not seen? It is still we that will recall ourselves back to status quo.
We sure hope you enjoyed this video. For more entertaining video content such as behind the scenes of music videos and movies, music concerts, premieres, interviews, and exclusive gists, subscribe now to our YouTube channel GoldmyneTV and be unleashed into a world of super excitement.